What's up, guys? Want to do this video today about weight cutting and the UFC and how things have changed so much for the better as well. So have a fighter, Vick that's in the UFC, and I've went with him twice this year. He's fought in Mexico City and then in Paris this last weekend. And things are so much different now. The PI and the UFC has really got things together and makes it so much easier for the fighters compared to when I was in the UFC. Back when I was in the UFC, a lot of guys didn't have a nutritionist and they couldn't afford one. And then a lot of guys, a lot of guys now don't need one because the UFC does it all for you. So we get there. So when I was in the UFC, I used to work with George Lockhart, and I would fly George Lockhart out for fight week, and I would pay him X amount of money, and it would be out of my purse after I got paid. So I was broke too, so I didn't have the money up front, but I would pay him after I got paid and everything. And we had a really good relationship, and I worked with George off and on for years, and we became like brothers. Phenomenal nutritionist, one of the best in the world. And back when I was coming up, really there was only a few nutritionists. It was George Lockhart, it was Dolce. And then a couple other guys that came in as well. And everybody didn't have a nutritionist. That was probably half the organization didn't. Definitely if you were newer in the organization, you didn't really have one as well. People didn't really know how to go about it, so that they did a lot of stuff the hard way. People would, I would see people even in the UFC when I first started still running the day of the fight with the sauna suit on, not cutting weight in the bath, not knowing how to use the sauna the right way, and just not knowing how to do it the right way. Well, now things are so easy. So you get there to the UFC, you get there 4 or 5 days before the event, and you go talk to the people. They have their own nutritionists. They have meal plans for you already. They have a certain amount of food you're going to eat for the 3 days leading up to the weigh-in. It's all weighed out. It's measured. It's no sodium in it. It's very it's perfect. It's perfect the way it is. I believe it's usually 2 small meals per day, and then a few snacks. No sodium at all, and very direct instructions. Hey, get the bath temperature. Like, I understand, how to cut weight very well. I had about 18. If you count the Ultimate Fighter, I had 18 weight cuts in the UFC, so I really know how to cut weights. But a lot of people don't, and they make it so simple. 104 is the temperature of a hot tub, and that's what you start with, and then you increase the heat up in the bath up to possibly 108 or maybe even 110. And this was all explained. They had a thermometer for us. They had to check the temperature of the water. They gave us sauna suit. They gave us a sauna blanket. They have portable saunas you can use. So all of this is new in the last few years. This wasn't the case. And man, it makes weight cutting very easy now. It's honestly hard to figure out why people miss weight. I mean, I know why they miss weight, because, fighters cut a lot of weight. Some are undisciplined. Some wait till the last minute to cut the weight. There's multiple reasons, but realistically, the UFC makes it very easy, and it's so easy now to cut weight in the UFC compared to the way it used to be. It's very impressive how far they've come along and did everything. And so I figured I'd make a video about it and let you guys know, if you're working hard and the goal is the UFC, once you get to the UFC, they have everything so laid out for you, planned out. They'll make you a meal plan for the entire training camp as well. So the entire training camp, you can get a meal plan, and then you get the fight week. You have the easiest. You have help. They'll send someone to your room to help you cut the weight if you need to as well. They have like probably 4 or 5 guys guys and girls for fight week that specifically help fighters for the weight cut process. So it's very easy now. Just figured I'd make a video about that. It's so much easier than it used to be. So much easier than it used to be. So that's a good for fighters, and something to look forward to if your goal is to be in the UFC and you have hard times cutting weight. If you get there, you're gonna have it made if you just listen and follow instructions and follow the diet they give you in the camp and listen to them a week of the fight and everything. Things are real easy. Any other subjects you'd like me to talk about, just leave a comment below. If you're new to martial arts, looking for a gym near you, get my book, The Ultimate Guide to Choosing Your Martial Arts School and Instructor. The link is in the description below. Thank you, guys.